Yeah, when I'm talking, I can't hear you. We discovered that with Mark yesterday. I mean, so like if I'm in between words, I can hear you. If I'm not in between words, so um, that's on me though for not following my watch. Sorry. All right, hold on. Let me get back. Sorry, Brian. Hold on. Okay, ready to go, sir. Good morning, I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. Well, our headlines for today, scattered showers continuing to be numerous. Take a look. We expect some rumbles of thunder, the chance of a rumble of thunder. What we absolutely expect would be hail coming down. Snow levels at about 2,000 feet. You can see on the radar showers absolutely numerous across the area this morning. High temperatures today doing well just to get up to about 50 degrees. Winds gusty near heavier showers. Ready to go? Good morning, I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. Get ready for more showers today. And like yesterday, some hail embedded. And unlike yesterday, maybe a rumble of thunder. Take a look at temperatures. We are 43 in the Rose City at this hour. We'll be up to about 50 for a high today. Showers pretty numerous here on the west side, more widely scattered across the east. And daytime temps mainly in the 40s to about 50 at most. Drier weather coming tomorrow and Thursday.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Sunrise Extra. This is our unscripted live after show where really anything goes. It's not as like crazy fun because we're not all together in the same room. Drew, we're only seeing your midsection.
Oh my gosh.
If you sit in that stool.
Listen, wait a minute.
I mean,
I tried to change the shot. I tried to change the shot, and I thought, you know, they'll tell me if it doesn't look good. Until we came on, then I hear, hey, your head's cut off.
Yeah, it is almost still.
So I need to go adjust the camera.
Little boxes. It's because we're in the little boxes. If you kind of tilt it up. Drew has no camera person.
I got a little headache, I'll tell you that.
That's okay. When we came, I had like about this much.
I didn't realize I was so tall.
And that's because I took off my high heels, Nina. I know you can relate to that. I'm like, my feet are done.
I know you're jealous of this.
You have a chair?
I may just sit down. Why am I standing for the actual newscast?
Yeah, there's no reason because we only see a little bit.
Yeah, I should just relax and sit down. Okay, so back to the task at hand.
Yes, yes.
We are talking about the stay-at-home orders that Governors Jay Inslee and Kate Brown put down yesterday that tell you to stay home as much as you possibly can. Now, it did not go so far as to mandate that all non-essential businesses close, as we have seen some states do and some cities do. That remains to be seen whether Portland will go farther. Mayor Ted Wheeler says he may do that for the city of Portland, but he was very pro, doing this stay-at-home order. We are watching your guys' live comments. I'm watching you guys on YouTube, on Twitter. Brenda is watching on Facebook. Drew is watching. If you guys want to text us, if that's easier for you, text us questions. I know a lot of people are wondering, what about my office? What about my business? Can I go out and do this? I have a copy of the order so I can look up anything that it affects, so let us know your questions. We also have a Kyle Aboshi story that he put together of if these stay-at-home orders are going to work, and he talked with our sister station down in Sacramento about that. Let's watch this and kind of formulate and send in your questions while you're watching.
Thank you all so much for being here.
Oregon Governor Kate Brown took the drastic step of issuing a stay-home order. By law, the order restricts where people can go and what businesses can stay open in hopes of reducing the spread of the coronavirus outbreak. But the question is, will these strict guidelines work?
The governor's order is really a godsend, but it's a little late. It should have happened last week.
The governor faced increasing pressure to act after a busy weekend at the Oregon coast, where overwhelming crowds defied her request to stay home. Tillamook Mayor Suzanne Weber hopes the public will respond now that the governor's tone has changed.
She has not said, you must do this and do it now. And that's what she needed to do. And this is not something to be wishy-washy about.
Unlike previous warnings, Oregon's stay-home order has consequences. People violating the order could face jail time or fines.
It may make them feel more fear and perceive more risk in their environment, and as a result, they may be more likely to stay indoors and to socially distance themselves from others, which is
Ellen Peters from the University of Oregon explains, if other people are following the rules, you will too. It's human nature.
If it actually becomes a social norm, if more people are doing it, if even most people are doing it, then that will also end up changing even more behaviors, because if everyone else is doing it, I'm more likely to too.
Governor Brown's order follows similar shelter-in-place measures in many other states.
The governor of California issuing a strict stay-at-home order to his state's 40 million residents.
So how is it working there? We asked investigative reporter Brandon Ritteman from our sister station in Sacramento.
If the goal is to change everybody's behavior so that we're not, in close contact with each other as much, I think it is having the desired effect to a large degree.
No state is completely preventing people from going outside, but some measures are more drastic than others. Whether the restrictions in Oregon go far enough is an open question.
Okay, so do you guys think this goes far enough? Does it go too far? We are asking the viewers, should this have been a clear cut, all non-essential businesses shut down unless you can work from home? Brenda, what are you kind of hearing? Are people chiming in on Facebook?
Absolutely. Boy, I'm going to throw out several questions and then we can kind of look up some answers if we don't know them off the top of our head. Justin Cothran says, does this apply to the construction manufacturing industry? And then Alex Ensley, good morning, says, can I look for work at this time or should I wait? During the newscast, we were talking about that, like all these different, like CVS, the pharmacy chain, they're looking for a ton more workers because part-time and full-time. So people are getting hired during all this. Let's see if I can find another one real quick. Gosh, so many. Drew, do you see any more that I'm missing?
I have a couple on the text line, so I'm not looking at the Facebook feed that you're looking at right now. One of the questions asked by one of our viewers on the text line is, if a business stays open, how do they handle employees that must share a cafeteria? And I know that we don't have exact answers on that either. I think the general message is, and I was thinking this yesterday as I was home, and I was hearing the news like you were about the new stay-at-home orders in both states. There is mixed messaging that goes with this. There's just no way around it because every individual has a unique situation. And we're being told to stay home, which for me now is easy to do. I'm working from home. The kids don't have to go to school. We can pretty much hunker down and do everything we need to do, sans going to the grocery store from our house. But if you are a grocery store worker, now you are expected to go to work. And if you are working there at a grocery store, you are going to come in contact with people from less than 6 feet away when someone's coming through your checkout stand. So I'm thinking, everyone has a unique situation. Unfortunately, these rules don't apply to everyone, and everyone's going to have to kind of assess their own individual situation. Another question we had here was from a gentleman, and it was a long stated question, but the bottom line is he says he has a friend who suffers from schizophrenia, and he would typically go and visit this friend every day, and they would carpool to go grocery shopping. Now he fears that if he does this, he's going to get a fine, and he's going to be pulled over potentially and be fined for this act that he always considered to be an act of kindness, something to help a friend, something to really help us in this time of staying together. But now that act could be punishable.
So many of these stories are heartbreaking. When you think what a great need there is out there, it makes you want to reach out and help. And hopefully for that person, there is a way that they can do it. FaceTime, say, hey, look, right now only one of us can go, but we're going to get on FaceTime and we're going to be seeing each other every day, you know, and just keep that going. Kind of piggybacking off that, Drew and Nina, Stanford Walker says, I have some senior neighbors that need their CBD and liquor. Am I allowed to go outside the home and get it for them? We were just saying that the CBD places have drive-up pickup. So it's kind of like takeout for restaurants. You can stay in your car, they'll come out and give you whatever the order is, but the OLCC gave this temporary okay so that type of business could still continue.
Exactly, yeah, and they made special, even in the governor's executive order, it does say, you know, cannabis and liquor stores, as long as you're pulling up, you've already called in, you show your ID, you call when you get there, they bring it out, and you go right home. You can also, you know, check on people's welfare. That is also allowed. I saw manufacturing, you know, you just have to have a manager there. Someone asked about manufacturing. As long as you are able to maintain that social distance of 6 feet, that is allowed. But most office workers, you are being told you must work from home or telecommute. If you cannot, and that is not possible, you are allowed to stay in the office. But there has to be, you know, and like, how the heck are they enforcing this? You know, it remains to be seen. But, you know, social distancing within an office. But a lot of people saying this was so confusing, you know, since Friday night when they announced that press conference of something's going to happen, we're ordering you, but this is not an order. And then, you know, finally yesterday morning it came down, and then last night at 5:30, Governor Jay Inslee, we took live on television doing a similar thing.
You know what, I had the same feeling. Pat Doris did a live hit during our noon news the other day, yesterday, and I said, okay, wait a minute. I don't really get, unless we're going to dispatch law enforcement, or if it's just like if you see it, then you address it. How do people who are ignoring the order, what's making them, I guess, do it now, right? I know that we talked about peer pressure, basically, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But I was like, what does that look like? And it is just absolutely, truly deadly serious. I was on our KGW homepage here, and it says coronavirus model sees Oregon hospitals overwhelmed by mid-April. And, you know, it says this week, actually, March 24th through the 29th is go time. If we don't get it under control right now by social distancing, staying at home, working from home when we can, that we're not going to be able to. There's a really interesting graph, and it shows the curve. There's kind of the hospital beds, and then if we just social distance, there's kind of a mound. But if we do nothing, it's like one of those peaks that skyrockets. And, you know, that's a good thing to look at if you have some qualms about whether or not you want to abide by this executive order.
Someone on Twitter, Leo, says construction workers are still going job site to job site. I've seen construction work, and that's, you know, fairly easier to maintain some physical distance. So I assume that is still allowed. Bruce Davis on YouTube says, I like this order. People need to take it seriously. What really struck me is, and we have some video to show you, businesses, at least in portions of downtown, particularly in the Pearl District, are starting to board up their windows. They are closing, and we have heard, I have personally seen, you know, just small acts of vandalism happening. I drove to work the other morning, and it was garbage day. And some jerks walked down an entire street, tipping over everyone's garbage and everyone's recycling bin into the street. I've seen bus stop glass shattered and the bus stop closed with caution tape. This is River Pig and Filson, a great clothing store, Keene. They are all boarding up their windows. Grand Prix Motors, this is right across the street from KGW. They have beautiful high-end cars, Porsches, Range Rovers, all that kind of stuff. They have started boarding up their windows just because, you know, these streets downtown are eerie without any cars and without people walking around. We have seen, we checked with Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, who said calls to 911, thankfully, are down between 20 and 30%. And crime is down largely because people are, you know, staying indoors. But I just, you know, wonder, like, after a couple paychecks, when people don't have money, what's going to happen?
Yeah, well, hopefully, I mean, I know it's not a cure-all, but getting money directly into the hands of people who are struggling and who can't make their rent, and having some rent forgiveness and that type of thing. I mean, it's only a tiny piece of what's needed, but this is unprecedented. Kat Willowwoods Cochran on our Facebook stream says, I work at a bank. People, please learn electronic banking and help older people with theirs. And then she also mentions that I believe her daughter just quit working at the hotel where she was employed until people got this, you know, the area gets this under control. Businesses have only been made essential because those have deeper pockets. She says we need a real lockdown.
It will be interesting to see right now that this new order has come out, how it changes things. Obviously, we saw the scene, for example, at the Oregon coast this weekend, and clearly the directives weren't being followed, and now it's an order. But even in small cases over the weekend, you know, I would see, you know, groups of people out walking together. And I would see, like, for example, you know, 4 women. And I'm thinking to myself, those are probably not 4 sisters that live together, right? So just people getting together, still doing what they think is an innocent act. We're just out enjoying the fresh air, we're exercising, we're walking, but that's not supposed to happen right now. And I'm also amazed by some people that I've talked to who don't fully grasp what the order is and why we have it, because we're obviously in this business where this is what we do. We collect information and we pass it along, and we're not missing a beat in terms of the information. But there are still some people that aren't as clued into the news, aren't paying as much attention, and aren't actually hearing it. You may think I'm crazy, Brenda and Nina. I'm telling you, people in our neighborhood who work full-time jobs, are active in the community, I would think that they would be completely knowledgeable about what's happening. They're like, wait a minute, what can't we do?
Yeah.
Why does that apply to me? It's still not catching on to everybody. I'm not going to call people out by names, but it's happening still. So I'm curious to see what happens now after yesterday's news, if that changes, even in those small pockets of people, you know, walking together, running together. Will that stop?
So Nina, somebody asked, if I do have to go to work, do I need a note? And Karen Goforth says, I'm also a caregiver, and my company gave me a letter that said I have to come to work. We also have a letter that our company asked us to print out and keep in our car as these restrictions get tighter. And basically it says, in general, what we do and the need that we have to get to work. And as my boss told me, it's not a go anywhere free pass, but it does ask for consideration if someone were to stop you or question you on your way to your job, if it's considered essential. So.
And that part of it is pretty vague. And I know we were given that letter as, you know, essential communicators, and part of, you know, I mean, obviously like giving you guys the news and passing this on. And that was in case that there was a sweeping, you know, all non-essential businesses are shut down. If you're driving anywhere besides the grocery store, the hospital, or, you know, you are an essential worker in society, then you cannot be out and about unless you're going for a walk or something. Kate Brown, Jay Inslee did not do that. But let me read from the executive order, because it's very vague. And, you know, we only have so many police officers. She says the directives in this order are effective statewide. It is a public health law and may be enforced. Any person found to be in violation of this executive order is subject to the penalties, which is a Class C misdemeanor. And I believe it was, you know, up to 30 days in jail and like $1,000 or $1,200 fine of some kind. And that's what a Class C misdemeanor is defined as. This executive order will have the full force and effect of law. So I don't know, but I mean, really, you know, police are been tweeting out and Instagramming that they're, you know, patrolling business districts and watching for vandalism, and, you know, responding to those like imminent in-person emergencies and calls. I don't see, in all reality, I mean, this does not spell it out, of them, you know, pulling random people over or stopping you on the street. But if you are egregiously doing something and you're pulled over or you're talked to for some other situation, they ask you, hey, where are you going? Your license says you live in, you know, Monmouth, and you're in Portland and you're not going to see a sick loved one or the hospital, like, what are you doing? So I don't know. I mean, it's very vague about kind of that style of enforcement.
You know, somebody, Alex Ensley on our Facebook stream says, why aren't daycares being closed? Isn't that
So I can tell you about that too.
Go ahead.
So daycares, there is a provision in here for daycares that they shall close through April 28th unless they are meeting the following requirements, which are they must have a maximum of 10 children. They have to be the same children in the same classroom every day. And they must prioritize the kids of first responders, emergency workers, healthcare professionals. There you go, there's the full screen. Classrooms closed off to all other kids. Children of first responders are given first priority. So once that reaches 10, those kids in that classroom have to find somewhere else to go or go home. So that is really, really, really limiting. I think a lot of childcare places that I have heard of have closed, but it is also a state mandate that they must stay open for, you know, our nurses and doctors and fire and police.
There's kind of a variety of opinions. Elsie Outs, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Honestly, I think that we need a lockdown, and she would like to see the National Guard used to distribute supplies. Terry Hogenkamp says support local businesses online. I couldn't find hand soap, so I ordered some from Oregon Rain Soap and got it the very next day. And then just kind of piggybacking on your point, I love when you guys talk to each other out there on the stream. Joycelle Perez was replying to Alex, and she said healthcare workers need babysitters. The essential workers need childcare. Yeah,
have you
just
gone to the
exactly
grocery
what you were
store anytime in the past couple of days, Brenda?
I haven't in the last couple of days because everybody in my house is kind of off work and locked down, so to speak.
Nobody's eaten through all their quarantine snacks yet?
No, but I have been taken off the list because I have to be here every day, as long as I'm healthy, please. And so, yeah, my boyfriend has been doing all the shopping. He's been going out and getting the stuff that we need. I think I was at the grocery store last week and I picked up a few things that we needed. But the kind of the dynamic has shifted in our household. Because, like I said, I'm the only one who has to come in every morning at this point. And, you know, the stay-at-home order from the governor, my question was, well, how long does it last? And it's like until she says it's over.
I also saw in here through April 28th.
Oh, interesting. I didn't see that.
Well, at least in the child care section, it says through April 28th.
Yeah, that's the same as the school closings.
Okay,
Schools
that
are
makes
still
sense.
closed through April 28th, so I think they're lining those two up.
Yeah.
We do have one texter. I know that's another way you can communicate with us on Sunrise Extra. One of our texters says, even with the stay-at-home order this morning, it's amazing how many cars are constantly streaming on the road behind my house. It's the street for leaving the Hilltop neighborhood, and you would think that the numbers of cars out and about right now would be scarce. I can hear them, and it's constant. Why are people still driving around? One of our producers on the Sunrise Show was telling me yesterday they have a family member who lives in California. That family member was pulled over a couple of days ago by the police. They weren't speeding, they weren't doing anything wrong, moving violation-wise, but the police officer pulled them over, asked them where they were going. The answer was deemed non-essential. $1,500 citation handed to them on the spot.
Wow.
So if that starts happening, that may curb some behaviors,
California
I would
has
think.
a lot stricter order in place than we do. So,
but you're right.
But yeah, that's pretty.
That would get anybody's attention.
No kidding.
Wow.
Hey, you guys, one other thing we want to share with you. We're doing this thing called #ShareTheLove, and we've been getting some really cool posts. It's people posting photos of their loved ones or friends or whoever they know who are out there doing the hard work for all of us, grocery store workers, healthcare workers, firefighters, police, whoever, pharmacists, keeping the world going for us. Submit your photos, give a shout out. We've been doing a bunch of them on the news. Just use the #ShareTheLove. We will find them on social. Did you guys like seeing those today?
Absolutely. Yes. 100%.
Yes.
Let's
please.
wrap it up. Yes, more please. We love to end on a good note. Okay, you guys, this is Sunrise Extra. Let us know what you think. We're here every weekday at 7 a.m. We'll see you tomorrow.